the Mines of Moria and Balin's tomb. And this one, because I'll admit, Legolas I'll be real, he doesn't have a ton to do in any of the three of these movies.
Yeah,
he's just kind of that...
there to look pretty.
Well, yeah, he's showing off them cheekbones. And especially up until now, like all he's done is like he's walked on the snow. He shot the Watcher a few times. But he was the one to see the Crabine from Dunland or whatever. He was the first to... So like, it's just helpful to have an elf on your team. That's all that we know so far. And then they barricade the door. They have a cave troll. All right, everyone backs up. There's one dwarf in Moria that still draws breath. And I love, as they are chopping that door down, there is a crack and Legolas has already shot somebody. This like shows really why you want him on your team. Unfortunately, the movie kind of waters him down in a sense as a character that like he's not bringing a lot of character moments, but like it's because of him he can turn the tide in a battle. And you need that on your team. And so this is kind of just for showing off what he can do. And so that's why I kind of picked this moment, and especially that final blow to the cave troll, which I never knew what exactly he did until I knew he shot him in the face. I didn't realize he shot him through the roof of his mouth. Yeah. I always thought that he just shot him like in the head and it was just kind of hanging out. And I'm like, oh no, he definitely shot him through the mouth, because earlier in the movie he shoots and he just like they kind of bounce off of it.
I like him on the bridge of Khazad-dûm right after that too. Like he's the one who he starts hitting the guys up there because they start getting hit.
Yes, and they're falling down, and he's grabbing everybody and taking them over and stuff. I do like that as Boromir almost falls, he's the first one to grab him. That it's just like he's just physically superior to pretty much everybody else on the Fellowship. So
there's a note that I read while prepping that I really liked from Orlando Bloom, where during the scene where they're mourning both Gandalf and Boromir, his direction, I don't know if Peter Jackson gave it to him or if it was his own, is that death is such a peculiar thing. Like that's what Legolas is thinking. Yeah. Because
he does have a weird look on his face. Yeah.
And that's why, because he doesn't know how to take that because he's an elf. I think that's interesting because he's an immortal character.
But he is immortal. Yeah. It's really, really interesting to
think
about.
Yeah, the elves are interesting characters in general. It's like...
Yes, because I'm sure that's going through his head, if that makes sense. Where like death is peculiar. That it's like, that like I am immortal, but eventually death will come for me, but in a different way.
I like Legolas. He's grown on me over the years. Yeah. He was always my least favorite member of the Fellowship.
Really? He was always mine growing up. Like I was all about...
He's your favorite?
Yeah. I don't know if that's still true today, but growing up, definitely. That he was my favorite, just because I'm really into like I always like the archer character. Like I think that's so cool.
Well, I pay attention more to the smaller details now, and I notice like all the little hits he's landing, and he's like, oh, now he's racking 2 arrows. And
double shot. I'm gonna bring that someday. I'm gonna bring that for our live. I'm gonna bring some cards from this game that I like. That's the name of a card. And then
gotcha.
Yes, I love in Amon Hen when Aragorn's fighting that one and he's shooting like 6. He's just sitting there. And then finally he kills the one that Aragorn's been struggling with for like 40 seconds. That I'm just like, I love it. I mean, it's just like, that's what he's there to do.
For more Lord of the Rings, check out this one on the end screen or the full show in the description.